Ferrari versus Lamborghini, Ford versus GM, Samsung versus Apple. What do all these world-class rivalries have in common with personal watercraft? Stick around to find out more. I'm Sean from Cove Lessons and Boating, and there are 4 different primary personal watercraft manufacturers: Seadoo, Bombardier, BRP, Yamaha Wave Runner, Kawasaki Jet Ski, and Honda. Kawasaki and Honda are much smaller players in the PWC market. And on today's video, I'm going to focus on the primary 2 largest players in the industry, which is Seadoo BRP and Yamaha Wave Runner. Caution to the viewer, we are a Yamaha Wave Runner dealer. So we have a slight bias, although not that big, when it comes to Yamaha Wave Runners. However, being a dealer since 1958 and really working on personal watercraft since the mid-80s, we've seen a lot of them come and go through our service department, in and out of storage, and on our lakes and rivers in our local area. So we feel relatively confident that we can give you a high level appreciation between the 2 brands. So first, let's talk about Seadoo and BRP. Seadoo BRP is synonymous with personal watercraft. People say, hey, do you want to go for a Seadoo? Did you buy a Seadoo? Have you seen my Seadoo? That absolutely is what people think of when they think of personal watercraft. And there's good reason. They are super popular. They probably have the largest dealer network. They have the largest market share. And because of that, they probably have a dealer in your area wherever you do your boating. And for that reason alone, it makes it a potential good choice for you. If you have a great Seadoo BRP dealer in your area and they take really good care of their customers and you feel comfortable working with them, Seadoo likely has a PWC that's right for you. Yamaha, on the other hand, is the next largest market segment. They have the second largest number of dealers, and Yamaha has always been, whether it's in outboards versus Mercury or in PWCs versus Seadoo, they've always taken being second place almost as a badge of honor. They want to be second in size, but best in quality. If you can get an apples to apples comparison between the 2 different models you're looking at, it's often a slight bit more expensive. And they will say that that comes down to build quality, materials used, engineering, and engine reliability. Seadoos tend to be a little less expensive than their comparable Yamaha counterpart, slightly heavier for each model, and usually the rated horsepower for a given size and type is published as slightly higher. What we would warn you, or what we would recommend you do in a perfect world, is be able to drive one of each. If you were looking at a VX Cruiser HO and a GT 170 and you take them both out in the water, how do they perform? A great resource is boattest.com, which actually test drives each of them and gives you an independent performance evaluation. And you will find when you compare a slightly higher horsepower Seadoo PWC with a slightly lower horsepower Yamaha Wave Runner, the performances are almost identical, and that is because of the hull design and the overall package weight. Some other similarities between both brands is that both of them make the majority of their machines as naturally aspirated. That means there's no turbocharger or supercharger. However, they both have their ultra performance, their highest horsepower, as being produced by superchargers. Bear in mind that when you buy a supercharged unit, it will use a lot more fuel, it will be a lot more performance oriented, and will require more maintenance and is more prone to breakage. One major difference, or likely minor for most people, on a Yamaha is that it has a telltale jet tube spray that comes out of the back of them, and some people think they're really hokey and other people think it's great. What it's doing is showing you that the impeller is pumping water, but some people think it's annoying that it has that feature, and you can cap that little hole so that it doesn't shoot up. You'll find that both Yamaha Wave Runners and BRP Seadoos have a standard 2-year warranty from the factory, and there often are promotions available, so keep an eye out for those, or ask your dealer when you're negotiating to throw in that extra extended warranty. So when you're comparing both, make sure you take into consideration the dealer availability and location in your area. Secondly, is that dealer reputable, and do they have good reviews on Google? And do they seem to take care of their customers, and do you feel comfortable when you're shopping there? Lastly, you're going to want to look at each machine and try to get an honest, unbiased, apples to apples comparison when you're shopping. Don't let a slick salesperson fool you when saying our machine is way less than theirs or vice versa. Because if that's true, they're really not comparing similar models in each lineup. I'm never probably going to be able to afford a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, but I could use personal watercrafts almost any day of my life. Thanks very much for joining us on Lens Cove Lessons in Boating. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe for more. Hopefully you get out in the water, be safe, have fun, and we'll see you out there.